Hey YouTube, it's Venom9563 here. Today I'm going to be showing you my Gravekeeper deck. In my opinion, Gravekeepers were the original screw you format. They've always been one of my favorites. I've been collecting them for a long time. I have like I have at least 8 copies of every Gravekeeper except for Descendant and no, not Descendant, Priestess, and there was another one that I don't have anymore. That I don't have one of. I've been meaning to get it. Can't remember the name though. I might think of it later. Well, anyways, I'm going to start off with monsters. I got 3 Gravekeeper Spies. In my opinion, they are very helpful. Just quick search, attack them, flip them. Either way, I get to bring out a new Gravekeeper. Up next, we got 3 Guard. Many people normally will just have like 1 or 2 in a Gravekeeper deck, but I like 3. Just keep bouncing back cards. Up next we got Assailant. Assailant's fun because if Necro Valley's on the field, it gets to change battle positions of other monsters when they attack. Up next I got 3 Commandants. Gravekeeper's Commandants, really fun because I get to just discard and search for Necro Valley. Necro Valley is the card that gives all Gravekeepers a quick boost, so. Gravekeeper's Watcher, his effect is too long for me to read, hence the reason why I'm considered lazy. I've read his effect a few times, I don't really understand it. The only reason he's in here is because he's a Gravekeeper, and yeah, that's it. Up next we got Gravekeeper's Vassal. Weak little card, Gravekeeper though, but if he deals any damage, that extra damage is dealt as effect damage. He gives the monster damage again as effect damage. Up next I got 2 Cannon Holders. Gravekeeper's Cannon Holder is a fun card because I just send 1 Gravekeeper on the field except for himself to the grave, and my opponent takes 700 damage. Up next we got 2 Spear Soldiers. They have piercing battle damage, that's pretty much it. 2 Curse. These cards considered very weak considering they only have 800 attack points, but their effect is when they're summoned, I deal 500 points of damage as effect. Just like that. Up next is Gravekeeper's Chief, 2 of them. Where this is on the field, my graveyard is unaffected by Necro Valley, that's all there is to it. However, I'm only allowed to have 1 on the field at a time, so. If I try to summon in the second one, then the first one's automatically destroyed. So I don't really suggest doing that. Up next, I got 3 Descendants. Descendants is one of my favorite Gravekeepers because of his effect, which is... And none of them actually say once per turn, so I can keep using the effect over and over again, but tribute 1 Gravekeeper on the field, destroy 1 card my opponent controls. Not a monster, not just a spell, but any card that they control. Then up next, I got 3 Gravekeeper's Visionaries. People who have played play against Gravekeepers know that these guys are a pain in the butt. Visionaries' effect is, normally he'd need 2 tributes, but I can tribute summon him just by getting rid of 1 Gravekeeper. For every Gravekeeper in the graveyard, he gains 200 attack points. If he would be destroyed in any way, shape, or form, unless of course like you rip up the card, he stays alive by just discarding 1 Gravekeeper from your hand. Very helpful. This is going a little bit off of actually telling you the cards, but I have a question about these 2 that I hope some of you guys might be able to answer. If I have a Visionary on the field, glare gets in the way, sorry about that, whose effect lets me just discard a Gravekeeper to keep him alive, what would happen if I targeted him with Descendant? So let's say Descendant goes to tribute him. This guy uses his effect to stay alive. Would Descendant's effect still work? I am honestly wondering this. If any of you guys have any idea, please let me know, because otherwise I think that would be an unstoppable combo of just keep targeting him to just discard a card, he gets stronger, and I destroy a card. I really want to know. Anyways, back to actually telling the monsters. I have 2 Mystic Tomatoes, just for search. Damage Eater, helpful in a very tight pinch, because then if I would take any form of effect damage, just remove him from play from my graveyard, and instead of taking damage, I gain life. And then Legendary Fiend, a lot of people know what he does. 1500 attack when I start, but during every one of my standby phase, he gains 700. So, he's fun. That's it for my monsters. Up next we got my spells. Necro Valley. Alright, there's a thing with my Necro Valleys though, that my friend really doesn't like. These two Necro Valley in particular, the regular Necro Valleys, give Gravekeepers a 500 point boost and negate all effects unless it's the monster's own effect that involve graveyards. However, my third Necro Valley is a special version that messes with my friend. Because this one is, first off, I think it's super rare? Yeah. Super rare edition. This one came out long before the Merrick starter deck did. And this one, it negates any spell, trap, monster effect, any card that involves a graveyard whatsoever. It negates their effect. And then it also gives the 500 point boost. But my friend uses the Dragoonities, where they involve going to the graveyard to just bring them back out. That messes with them, because normally his effect would work because they're already in the graveyard. But with that version, it doesn't. Anyways, continuing, I have 2 Royal Tributes. This is a good way to power up my Visionary, because as long as Necroval's on the field, play this. Both players discard all monsters in their hand. I love just flipping this up when my opponent just gets that huge smile on their face when they just drew an awesome monster. Just play this, and it's just like, haha, screw you. Up next, I got Gravekeeper Stell. This one, the bottom line of it says that it cannot be negated by, it's unaffected by the effect of Necro Valley, and I get to add 2 Gravekeepers from my graveyard to my hand. Up next, Dark Room of Nightmare. This one deals an additional 300 points of effect damage whenever an effect damage is given, except by this card. So basically, let's say my Curse is played while this is out, and Gravekeeper's Curse deals 500, this would add an extra 300 to it. We have Staple MST, Burden of the Mighty, just to mess with people. For every level, their monster will lose 100 attack. Double Summon, quick ways to bring out my good guys. Up next we got Pot of Greed, Staple. Foolish Burial sends my damage eater to the graveyard right away, so that way, even if it's my first turn and he's about to deal so much effect damage, I'll stay alive. Up next we have Demise of the Land. When my opponent special summons any monster, flip this over, search my deck for a field, and just play the field. And last but not least, equip card, Ikebio Dracmord. Love this card. Equip it to their monster cannot change battle position. Oh no, never mind. It just can't attack. And in 2 turns after 2 of my turns, that monster is destroyed, and Ikebio Dracmord is sent back to my hand. I just really love it. Okay, that's all for spells. Up next I have traps. Nightmare Wheel. Upgraded form of Spellbinding Circle. Not only does it stop them from attacking, they can't switch battle positions, and every one of their turns they will take how much damage? 500 damage. 2 of them. Up next, got 2 Coffin Sellers. Coffin Sellers are always really fun, because every time a monster goes to their graveyard, this is another reason why I have Royal Tribute, every time a monster goes to their graveyard, they take also 300 damage for each monster. Up next, got 2 Physical Doubles. They're helpful when you're in a pinch. Just take on the attack power of their strongest monster when you have no monsters, and yeah, it's just helpful. Jin Shenhu. I'm not sure why I don't see more people using this card. I mean, it's so useful. Really, it's just so useful. Just stop them from activating any 2 spells or traps in their field. Dust Tornado, helpful. Play it, destroy a card, then you get to set a card, even if it's not your turn. Raigeki Break. Raigeki Break is fun. Discard a card, destroy a card. Sakuretsu Armor. You attack. your monsters destroyed. And an original Mirror Force. This Mirror Force, I like it a lot because this is one that will both negate the attack and then destroy all the cards. Just really fun that way. Really screws with people. Especially when they're like, I didn't know it does that! And that's because you don't have an original copy. Well, anyways, that's my Gravekeeper deck. Like I said, if you can, really, I need help figuring out what would happen with the Descendant Visionary combo. Anyways, thanks. See you.